Hello everyone and welcome back to KitbashCarnage. So today we're going to take a look at kitbashing and making an Egyptian themed Space Marine kind of army unit thingy-mabobber. So we're going to start off with this one guy and just basically get the whole gist of the look we're going to go for before we go all out and make a whole army of these guys. So as you can see, I have a few bits from, I think it's 1,000 Suns kind of guys. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Apologies for never knowing where a lot of these bits come from, but that's not what this channel is about. It's about doing the actual thing itself, the actual making process, and not worrying about where the actual bit came from, because as you can see I have tons of bits and I can never remember for the life of me where I got them. It's usually eBay or friends who have spare bits, and on that subject, if you have any spare bits that you would like to donate, you can always hit me up on my Discord or hit me up on an email or anything like that, or Instagram, and we can sort something out. And as you see here, we're just going through our bits and figuring out which bits we think will suit this guy. And right now I'm trying to look for like shoulder pads or things to go onto the shoulder pads, and just metal armor plating and anything that will define the outcome of the team of this unit itself. I just want to see some defining bits, things that stand out and kind of differentiate the actual normal Space Marine from this Egyptian kind of themed Space Marine. So symbols and just stuff that just make it look that little bit more unique. So you can see I'm contemplating about using lots of different bits, but you have to remember that you can always add too much onto a miniature by overthinking. So usually I tend to get like 5 or 6 bits out and then try and just use amongst them, if not use less of them. So if you take out 5 bits and you're going to be using them bits, try to maybe cut back and use one less. Less is more in some circumstances. So as you see here, we're drilling into the armor of the actual mini itself, and this kind of adds to the less is more kind of outcome. So drilling into this, we're going to put some of these miniature beads in their place, and this will end up adding more detail and characteristics to the model itself without adding actual plastic bits to it. So like little defying symbols and stuff like that. We can just do this to the armor itself and make it look that much more detailed. So I done this kitbash in a 24-hour kitbashing rally that we sometimes do. I go live during these sometimes, so keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to all so you can be notified when I do go live. So during this live kitbashing rally, I was a little bit lethargic. I don't know if that's what you say, but sleep deprived basically. So I drilled each hole. I drilled a tiny bit too deep, so these little beads don't end up resting as well as they should, and some of the holes we have to use 2 beads to get the desired effect. So here comes the painstaking task of putting these beads in the holes. And like I said, some of the holes are a bit too deep, so we need to use 2 beads in these holes. So there goes a bead. Yeah, this took forever, but we got there in the end. So just adding a small bit of super glue. Yeah, not really a small bit there, but using a small bit of super glue, we're going to basically stick these beads into place. As you can see, we used the rest of the super glue over spillage that I had there to stick the rest of the beads in place. just using the glue we had instead of adding more onto the miniature, because yeah, we already used a bit too much there. So then going and picking some more bits that will define this mini, basically grenades, little bits and bobs that will just add towards the overall outcome of the miniature itself. And then just trying to think about some type of cape of some sort. Not even a cape, but just some type of fabric. I like putting fabric into my kit bashing because it gives the whole overall look of movement, and the miniature is flowing, and there's, yeah, just like there's some movement in the miniature itself, and it's not just a stationary model, if that makes sense. So I was looking through my bits of capes and chainmail bits and stuff. Didn't really find one that I liked. So you'll see later on we end up just making our own out of some outcast bits of green stuff that I just keep, and always come in useful for things, especially like you're going to see up here in a minute. Things always work out by using some scrap bits. You can reuse, reduce and recycle. No point throwing these things away when they can come in handy. Now that does not give you the excuse to hoard. I need to sometimes reassure myself that you know, you need to sometimes throw things away. There comes a time when it ends up becoming just hoarding junk, and yeah, that's the last thing we want to do, because my house is too cluttered with miniatures as it is, and I don't know if the missus is going to give me a ultimatum anytime soon. It's either me or the minis, but I could probably say the same for her, because I've got her into miniature painting now. The thing's addictive, you know, and it's just so stress relieving to be able to sit down and just create something, and, you know, do it out of your own, like at your own speed and all that stuff. That's why I like this. It's a creative process. It's doing stuff at your own speed. It's being able to create and to see the finished product and putting all that time into it, and then seeing the outcome. It's so in my instinct anyway, it's just so I can't even get the word out, you know. It feels so good, you know, just to be able to create something, see all your hard work that just went into that thing itself, whether it be actual work IRL, or creating miniatures, or playing video games, or doing other projects, painting or whatnot. All the time and effort it takes to do that, it's all worth it in the final end when you see the finished product. So as you've seen, we added a few more bits to this model. Just the gun on the hip, this Egyptian looking thing coming out of the armpit. Supposed to be basically a floating scroll Egyptian head thing. That's what I seen it as. And then we're looking at the bag here, or shall I say the like jetpack rocket booster thingy majigger. Apologies guys, I'm not like into Warhammer as much as you may think I'm into it, but I just don't know all the ins and outs of it. I like kit bashing with its miniature bits because there's thousands of them and you can get them fairly cheap on eBay. So you can see I'm just adding some of our kind of more, yeah, I'm sticking matchsticks to myself again. Yeah, please be careful when you have super glue. It tends to make everything stick to you. So I'm using the kind of gelatinous type super glue, and this will help, like I said in previous videos, to hold the piece in place instead of our more liquefied super glue, which wouldn't be able to stabilize these pieces while we're trying to let them set. So just sticking some pieces on the head here just to bulk it up, and then we're going to stick a little thingy majigger on the back of the backpack here. Apologies, guys, but you should be used to me by now, not speaking very articulatedly. We use, there we go, it's falling over. We use thingamajigger, what's the majigger, thingamabob, the yokimabob, a lot of random words to describe what we're doing. But as long as we all get the general gist of what's going on, we're golden. So yeah, we're sticking this thing on the backpack here, trying to get a good bond with the miniature and the piece itself. And as you can see, we go straight into the green stuff discarded bag, getting out some bits that we're going to make that kind of cape cloaky fabric stuff from. And then we're going to use some more super glue and manipulate this in a way that it looks like it's flowing with the movement itself. So just trying to get a good position for this supposed fabric, so it kind of tucks under the belt there and is as seamless as we can get it just now. Everything can always be fixed in the end, so you can go back and fix things, hide mistakes where needed. Also, you can paint over things, so never worry. Oh, yep, there we go. KitbashCarnage, folks. Yep. Let's see. Yep. It worked out in the end, folks. Worked out in the end. So I just cut off these sides of the backpacks. They're like little exhaust vents. And then I'm going to get some skulls. And with these skulls and like heads and stuff, I'm going to decorate further the backpack kind of jetpack thing. And we're just going to make it look that bit more menacing. And then, yeah, add a bit more details here and there to cover up our mistakes with the joins. And I'm pretty much done here. One more, adding a head. You know, you can always get more gruesome by adding some hanging skull heads, decapitated heads off the waist. But yeah, I really enjoyed this miniature. I really enjoyed the whole finished product. I can't actually wait to create this whole unit. And as you can see, we kind of have the basis now of the theme of the unit itself, of the Egyptian faction that we're going to create. So yeah, thank you all for watching the video and listening to me ramble. Like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one.